Bivouac's, he's an interesting colt. He's well balanced. He's a very nice size for a colt. He's not burdened with any extra muscle or weight that he doesn't need. He's got a very kind eye. He's able to put that into his race performances. He uses that balance. He uses his size to great effect.
Exceedance is coming off heels. It's Bivouac being joined by Yes, Yes, Yes.
Bivouac has an X factor as a racehorse, which is hugely exciting and moving forward as a stallion prospect.
It's Yes, 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 laying it down to Bivouac. Great finish. Yes, Yes, Yes. Bivouac comes back. Bivouac fights on, and Bivouac wins the Golden Rose.
What a horse! I mean, to see Bivouac striding into his sprint at the top of the straight is poetry in motion, and he's a rare horse to have in your care. And I tell you what, he's an absolute pleasure to have in the stable.
With Bivouac, you're reuniting your Newmarket handicap winning jockey Glenn Boss, who's got a great strike rate when he teams up with Godolphin.
Just going to the barriers, I knew I was a winner. You can just tell when they're on, colts.
Ready to go. Mills are back and they're racing. Dispatch away only fairly. Bivouac out fast.
To be able to get myself on the back of this colt and feel the power and feel the speed, it was just immense.
Bivouac on the outside, chiming in strongly, then Geetra. Bivouac takes the lead from Loving Gabby at the 100. Bivouac coming away for Bossy. Bivouac on the Newmarket easily.
Bivouac wins for James Cummings. What a 3-year-old colt he is.
He's a Group 1 winner already, but to win a Newmarket, it's one of the elite races on the Australian calendar, and to do it in the dominant fashion he has, it's pretty spectacular.
To wear these colours today and get the job done on this unbelievable, valuable colt, honestly, I couldn't have scripted it any better.
And that masculinity now might just be the difference of what it might take in the lead up to his biggest challenge yet.
Like Exceed and Excel, Bivouac won the Newmarket handicap in scintillating fashion.
Bivouac's just a superstar racehorse, and he's very much in the profile of his own father. He was a really good 2-year-old, stakes winning 2-year-old. He won the Lonhro Plate, really established himself as the top 3-year-old sprinter of his generation. It's great that he stayed in training at 4 to really cement his place at the top of the sprinting rankings. Wow, he's going to be a hotly sought after prospect when he does retire to stud.
From a female perspective, Bivouac comes from what I consider to be our best family. His mother, Dazzler, we thought had stakes potential, even though her race record doesn't say that. She was by more than ready. A half-sister to 4-time champion mare Guelph, again from the family of Sepoy, who was such an important horse for Sheikh Mohammed. Bivouac's grandmother, Camarilla, was a Group 1 winner. His great-grandmother, Camarina, was a Group 1 winner. So this is a hugely deep pedigree, laden with Group 1 success, and on that basis it's no surprise that Bivouac has the quality that he does. Particularly pedigree is what makes him a hugely exciting stallion prospect.
Trekking through and trekking has won it.
And Godolphin might just have another big chance as they have a crack at a $14 million race.
He's got a sharp turn of foot, and they'll know he's there, that's for sure.
It's definitely been a target for trekking.
The biggest race on turf.
This is a race that continues to deliver.
The load is on for the Everest and the gates are back, they're off.
The horse had a big challenge ahead of him to do not just the 7-day turnaround, but to travel back to Sydney and pump himself up again for another crack at a weight for age race.
Santa in a lane 5 off them, looking for room, getting to the outside now. Nature Strip at the 200, 2 in front, the Red Zell. Yes, Yes, Yes is winding up further back then to trekking, and Santa in a lane, the colt. Yes, Yes, Yes takes the lead. Santa in a lane is chanting at the end. Yes, Yes, Yes wins the Everest, trekking third.
As we thought, he'd be the strong horse late. He just kept coming and coming with a strong run. Terrific effort from him. Delighted. Well done, team.
Tough effort.
Very.
It was a massive effort from trekking to actually go through that preparation, from our team to fulfil our goal to get him into the race by using the promotion from the MRC. It was a really good demonstration of how good a traveller trekking is, how tough he can be, and how he can just keep turning up and delivering that performance at that level, race in, race out.
Geetra and Trekking got up to win final stride.
It's all Trekking for the Blue Army, and Trekking's won the Stradbroke.
So Trekking's run in the Moir was very solid, obviously. It was reminiscent for me of a horse called Mental, who ran a similar race in the Manikato at Moonee Valley before coming out and winning the Darley Sprint Classic in a dominant style. So really encouraged by his first up performance trekking, and he certainly gives the impression that he's ready to springboard at his next and make his presence felt in a race of real consequence.
So he really put his hand up as being a contender, and we think that he's now tough enough and seasoned enough to go straight into the Everest second up, and an opportunity for Trekking to take his credentials that one step further, to put himself down as one of the best sprinters we've actually had through the stable in recent years.
Trekking is by Street Cry. Street Cry was a horse that was raced by Godolphin, owned by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed, raced in America, raced in Dubai, hugely successful racehorse.
It's Street Cry and Jerry Bailey opening up now by 5. He's put the field away, and Street Cry, he's sharp as nails. He goes on to win it by 5 lengths.
He was identified as a horse that had commercial appeal here in Australia.
Now, he was an unbelievable stallion. He was one of the foundation stallions here, standing here in 2003. He actually stood in the end stable on the right down there.
Street Cry, the sire of Winx, Zenyatta, Shocking, a Melbourne Cup winner, and Trekking, who takes on the Everest again.
He's a horse that has left a legacy of sons and daughters of shuttle horses like Territories on his dam side, and daughters, many daughters, that will prove that his influence can never be underestimated.
And there is Osborne Bulls for the ATC, James Cummings and Tommy Berry.
Well, he only secured his spot earlier in the week, but he's 2 for 2 on the soft. His third up form is perfect, and I think he's got better chance than when I first looked at him.
We were quite confident he was capable of running the big race. But of course he was the rank outsider because he was perceived just as a handicapper coming up against the best weight for age sprinters in the country.
Geez, he can reel off some fantastic sectionals over with lesser grade horses, but if he can compel that and bring it up to this level, he's definitely right in there. So there's nothing wrong with his condition, he's spot on.
We had a horse in Osborne Bulls that was 25 to 1, 30 to 1, not highly regarded, and not on many people's radar.
Here we go for the Everest, the lights on. Wow, bigger roar than last year. It's a moist crowd here at Randwick and the gates open for the Everest.
Walking the track, myself and Dominic Byrne discovered that on the very outside, it seemed to us to be the fresh ground where he might be able to make up something of the disadvantage he had against these weight for age horses.
And James and Dominic said, what would you think about going to the outside fence? And I said I was actually going to mention that to you as well.
Further back in the race then to Graft, and Scholes, they straighten up now. Redzel, McAvoy swinging off him up the rise.
The wheels were spinning, so once we got out of that pad of grass, pulled the stick to the right, give him one, he let rip, you know.
It was an instant reaction. He lowered himself down behind and extended.
What are you doing?
You can hear him say, "What are they doing? What's he doing?" It was extraordinary. And down the outside fence he came.
And down the outside is Osborne Bulls. It's Redzel clear. Redzel, 50 metres to go, looking to conquer the Everest again, and boy, he's done it. I think Osborne Bulls, the stands rail third.
But he's just all guts. That was unreal. I feel like I won. It was awesome.
You got over the top of the Remain the last.
Mate, like he just
everything's run was ending the last 100.
Well, I think they got on that tiring track. They probably got bogged down in it where we were just out there cruising along, you know.
Yeah.
So well done. Good on you.
Thank you, Tommy. Well done.
That was the best ride. 10 out of 10, son.
I'm Olivia Hill, I'm the spelling manager at Godolphin and in the Hunter Valley, and I'm just here with Osborne Bulls, one of our residents of the Godolphin Lifetime Care. At the end of last year he came to live with us after he'd retired from racing, and he's just been living and enjoying his life since then. What are you doing? Ozzie's day-to-day usually consists of anything from coming into the stables and the wash bays to help keep the young horses calm and offer some companionship. Yeah, he's got a really good brain and a good attitude.
Osborne Bulls is a flag bearer in the Godolphin Lifetime Care program, which fundamentally illustrates our commitment to the highest standard of care for horses at every stage of the process, from foaling on the farm right through to racing, and then obviously to our continued commitment to lifetime care after racing. Osborne Bulls is currently at Kelvinside, at our property up there in the Hunter Valley. In the paddock, he's enjoying himself, and as I say, as a flag bearer, the hope is that he will help us to promote not only the Godolphin Lifetime Care program itself, but the versatility of the thoroughbred more generally.
He, Hartnell, it's somewhat who won a Doncaster handicap, and by flag bearer I mean we always have control or ownership of the horse, but we lend them and we give the custody of the horse to somebody to look after those horses for their life. But it's not about those elite horses either. It can be about horses that haven't even won a maiden race. We find a home for them. There's lots of opportunities out there in the equine community that want to take our horses on and re-educate them, reschool them, put them into various equine disciplines, whether it's dressage, eventing, show jumping, police horses, or just even companion horses. And it's all about that lifetime care. We've got that responsibility. We want to look after these horses right through their life and have a happy life wherever it may be, whether it's in the Godolphin program or with some of our friends out there in the equine community.
Nothing gives you quite the feel that the Everest gives you. It's great for the sport and it's a real spectacle. It's an event. Yeah. It's not just a horse race, it's an event.
We wanted our best chance in our slot.
7 News can reveal exclusively the powerful Godolphin stable has selected 3-time Group 1 winning mare Alizee to fill its slot.
She's an explosive mare, hand-picked by Godolphin. She has an amazing sprint and appears to be flying.
Look, we know what she's capable of doing. But when you switch her on, she's on. She went from second last to 2 in front in 50 yards.
The two favourites, Alizee, went straight past Champagne Cuddles. Hasn't she got a motor, Alizee? That was electrifying.
And even now it gives me tingles because thinking about that day, you know, it's special to win a race with any horse, but to win a Group 1 with a horse that you've had something to do with the family, it's even more special.
James Cummings picks up his first Group 1 in the Godolphin Blue.
There were so many great memories of Alizee's race wins.
Prop Response takes the lead, 150 out. Here's Alizee coming down the outside.
We hadn't had a winner yet that day, and now we've only got Alizee left, and I remember thinking, don't worry about that. Alizee's the one.
And Alizee, the filly, goes on to win it. Alizee beats Prompt Response.
And that customary turn of foot was back again today at a mile.
The turn of speed wins your races, and she's got that in spades.
She's just about the best three-year-old in the country, I think.
She was able to win a race every single preparation since she turned 3. And that was a great sign of her determination and her longevity for us.
Alizee, a magnificent mare.
There's no doubt she'll go down as one of the great mares we've had through the stable. Now she gets to begin her life as a broodmare, and hopefully she can throw a champion as good as her.
What a great mare, and a great product of this farm and of Woodlands and of Northwood Park, of everything we stand for here in Australia. She is a homebred, obviously, by a homebred sepoy out of a mare called Essaouira, who we bred and raced ourselves. Now, Essaouira has developed into one of the absolute blue hen mares of the Australian turf.
Alizee retires to our broodmare band as one of 12 stakes winning mares, 3 times Group 1 winner. Also joining Kiamichi, Golden Slipper winner, Pinsec, a stakes winning 2-year-old, Tenley, the winner of the Riesling Stakes Group 2 at 2.
Stake success is obviously very important for everything that we do. It builds value into those pedigrees, and to retire 12 in total this year that have stake success is a huge result for the farms and underpins the success of the racing operation.
It's just great to have horses that calibre. I mean, they're born here, they're raised here at Woodlands, they go into the breaking in system up at Kelvinside, and then a lot of time they'll spell at Northwood Park, and they're obviously within the racing system. That's what we're all about, is obviously producing these top class race horses, perform on the race course, and then once they're retired, the colts go and stand at stud, and then the fillies come back here and to Northwood Park, and then they'll sort of retire there and they'll produce the stallion in the future.